Nerd and Geeks. I'm Garrick. This is Keith. Welcome to our show, which is all about first impression reviews of board games. And the board game we are covering is Colt Express, Spiel Des Jahres winner, which is a title that only the top games of the world really get. It's a German award show, but that's really cool. So we are doing Colt Express, which is a Western themed game. Did you like that aspect when we were playing there, when I was introducing you to the game, the Western theme?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few games with Western theme, but I don't think any of them really capture like the fast-paced, the kind of crazy elements of like the Western movies and the genre, the chasing down and beating each other down.
Right. And I thought that was the brilliance of this particular game, because it's all about you controlling a cowboy to rob a Colt Express. You know what I mean? But what really blows my mind is that it also inadvertently captured the theme of Westworld from HBO.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really love it, because your cowboys are actually robots that you are controlling. You are programming robots to rob a train. How fitting to match that show. I love that show mainly because it's very dramatic, because the cowboys, the robots, the host of the West, they don't know that they're hosts. Yeah. So they are completely taken off guard and whatnot. And we are the programmers in that show, and we get to program them in any direction that we want.
That is a different way of looking at it.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's a very different way of looking at it, and I'm sure the designers of this game had no idea that they would capture that kind of spirit, and it's a very popular show right now. So what happens in this game is that we actually have to program our host in a particular order, and they are listed on these cards over here. So if you look, they tell us that we have to play 4 cards. Now, we get these cards by drawing them from our personal stacks. Now, I like to play this character, Ghost, because the first card you get to play him face down, because he's a ghost. He's a whisperer. You can't see what he does. You like to play Doc.
Yeah, Doc's awesome. Well, not only does he have style, what Doc looks like. Yeah, style. Well, not only that, but he gets a hand size of 7, which means he gets an extra card to choose from. I like to have options.
Yeah, and that's a really kind of a cool thing. So we get to control our meeples, and we control them in a particular order as told by this card. So the first 2 cards we have to play. So some of them we might have to move our characters. For instance, you might have to move them up or down. Side through cards. Yeah, if you're on the roof, you get to move multiple spaces, but if you're down below, you only can move 1 car at a time. Makes perfect sense, because you have to go through doors and whatnot, right? If you're close to another host or cowboy, you get to punch them and throw them to the next car, mainly to steal their stuff. You punch them, they drop loot. And if you're in a car with loot, you get to take it. With this one. You also get to fire guns. If you fire the most bullets, you give people extra cards from your stack, and you basically muck up their little card draw, their deck.
Yeah, bullets are no good.
Bullets are no good, because they throw you off and you limit your stuff. Makes sense, right? You take a bullet, you're a little slower than what you were before. Yeah? And the last thing is you get to move the marshal, or the guest in our bows. Because if you're in the same car as the marshal, you also take one of his bullets and mucks up your deck. But you're also forced to go on the roof, which might throw off your whole programming and stuff like that. So that's a really unique way of looking at the game, right? Was there any particular things that you liked about this game that kind of blew your mind as we were playing this out?
Well, I definitely like the pre-programming aspect of it more, because I know you mentioned it while we were playing, that you like being able to program things and then kind of watch it play out. And that really captured the how made it kind of look like a scene from a movie. It really is like that. So I love the pre-programming aspect. I know that's kind of the main aspect of the game, but I mean, I really love it, because in this particular game, with this genre, it kind of feels like you're writing the script as you go.
Yes.
And then you get to watch everybody do, as you said. And sometimes it messes up and it goes in completely unexpected ways.
And that's, to me, is the best part. It's like, oh, I was supposed to do this, now I can't do that. It is watching an adventure. When I first played this game, I got it before Westworld came out. So in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, you're a director. You're doing this blockbuster movie, and things go awry. But you're telling a little story at it as you are going, a little adventure of sorts. And I like that certain board games you can totally improvise or play characters behind it. So you never know what your character is thinking. Like maybe he's in love with another girly character and you're trying to work out a deal, but all of a sudden things go awry. I love this game mainly because it's three-dimensional. You're watching figures move based off the cards you play. So you might move a card down and steal some loot, or you might move a marshal, which might throw off the whole thing and moves your character on the top. It's brilliant to look at. It's just beautiful in general. The meeples are in control. It's got a lot of components, but not a lot of components that clutter the game.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It kind of illustrates it really well. I've played games of this where people have actually moved these per round to illustrate that the train is moving and knocks over a cactus. Totally knocks over a cactus. The point is that this game really, it's just really neat to watch and to unfold and to play in your hand, because ultimately it tells a story.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love games that tell a story.
I do also like that it is a point-based game. It's not just...
That's true.
Yeah, so, I mean, and the points are kept kind of secret, so you never know exactly how many points everybody has.
Yeah.
You never know exactly where you sit, so you always need more loot.
Ultimately, it's all whoever steals the most money wins the game, right? It's brilliant. Yeah. So that's our first impression review of this magnificent game. Thanks. Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube video here on Aloha Nerd and Geek. If you like this channel, please watch more videos right beside me. Until then, y'all come back now, you hear?